Have you ever wanted to buy land and then they hit you up with this line? Just make a deposit of 1 million naira and then you can spread the rest of the payment within a period of 6 to 12 months. Now, before you venture into this transaction, you need to understand what it means by deposit and then part payment. So in this video, we're going to be explaining the differences between deposit and part payments. Many times people assume that the reason why people make payment in installments is because of poverty, but that's not always the case. Sometimes buyers decide to make payments in installments just to test the waters. They drop a small amount, then move into the property, waiting to see if there's anyone that will come to lay claim of the ownership of that property. When they are now confident that the owner of that land is legit as well as the land, then they proceed to make the complete payments. That's a smart move right there. Now here's the bitter truth. Until you make the last payment of that land price, the ownership has not transferred to you. In other words, you cannot be regarded as the owner until you pay the complete money. And if you delay for long, the seller can sell the property to another person and then refund you your money. Now let's settle the confusion. What is different between deposit and part payment in property purchase? Deposit is like an engagement ring. It is more like a commitment which gives the seller the confidence that you want to buy that property. Deposit is usually over 10% of the total cost of that property, and it is usually non-refundable unless the agreement states otherwise. So therefore, if the buyer refuses or fails to complete the payment within a given period of time, he is not entitled to a refund of the deposits. Where the buyer fails to complete the payment within a reasonable time as agreed upon by the two parties, the seller has a right to sell the property and not to refund deposit to the buyer. So usually the deposit is non-refundable unless the agreement says otherwise. On the other hand, a part payment is like you are paying small for a wedding venue, and it is usually refundable if the deal doesn't fall through. In other words, if a buyer fails to complete the payments within a reasonable time as agreed upon by the parties, the seller can sell the land and then refund the buyer the part payment he has made. But in the case of a deposit, the seller is not entitled to refund the buyer. It is usually non-refundable. When it comes to deposit and part payments in property law, these are the things you must know. A deposit or part payment doesn't automatically make you the owner of that property, be it a land or a building. If you don't complete the payment within a reasonable time, the seller can resell the property. Extra fees like documentation and developmental levy can still apply even after you've made payments. And this is why you need to have a clear written agreement showing if you are making a deposit or a part payment. And this agreement is usually referred to as a contract of sale. Now let me warn you, don't rely on the seller's sweet mouth or the agent promises. Always involve a lawyer to review this agreement for you. That way you won't hear stories like, oh, we thought you knew, or sorry, oh, someone else have bought the land. Trust me, that small money you pay your lawyer can save you from losing millions of naira and plenty of headache later. Before you pay any dime, know the difference between part payment and a deposit. Protect yourself with a very solid agreement and a good lawyer. If you find this helpful, like, comment, and share this video. Let's share this word and save someone from tears. My name is Isaac. I'm a property lawyer and a real estate entrepreneur who uses the machinery of the law as a tool to safeguard the interests of my clients.